Testing, 1, 2, 3. How we doing, Mark? All right, once I get everyone's attention, we'll get it started. 3, 2, 1, and we're live, and welcome to the first ever Startup TNT BC Summit finale at BDC. Can we make some noise? Don's ready. To kick us off, I want to throw it over to Angus Fudge with BDC to welcome us to his space. Give him a round of applause.
Wow. The mic's on. I'm with BDC Venture Fund. I'm based in this office. I'm just going to do a little it doesn't work. Shall I shout?
Let's swap.
Okay, let's try that. This is going to have the same problem with this one. So I'm just going to start. I'd like to first acknowledge that we are gathered on the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. And as a recent immigrant myself, I would like to take this opportunity to commit to deepening my understanding of local Indigenous communities' histories and culture, and to actively work against colonialism and towards reconciliation. It's my pleasure to welcome you to BDC Square Vancouver, one of our 3 BDC squares across the country. We're in the Stack building, which is not just Vancouver's, but Canada's first new commercial office tower to achieve zero carbon certification, which was a scripted point, and then I thought about it, and it's actually kind of crazy, like the lights, the HVAC, the staff, and everything that goes into this huge building for it to be zero carbon. So I did just want to give that a shout out. Welcome back to everybody who's been here before. I know we host a few events. Welcome to those of you who are new here. This event came about because we've been speaking with the Startup TNT team for several months about ways to collaborate. Will reached out about this event, and we jumped at the opportunity to use this space because we as BDC support Canadian businesses of all sizes at various stages in their development. We're the only financial institution devoted exclusively to Canadian entrepreneurs. Okay, my slides aren't working. I'll take the next one if you can. Anyway, our support takes 3 forms. Most of the business is financing, which is kind of term loans. We do capital investment, which is where I sit. That's specialized capital such as venture, growth and transitional capital. I think there's some members of the team here as well. Like I said, I'm with the Seed Venture Fund. We write $250K to $4 million pre-seed to late seed checks for Canadian software companies. So come talk to me, come talk to other colleagues who are here today who can help with maybe with your business. And then thirdly, we do advisory. I sit around the corner near some amazingly smart people who work with businesses all across Canada, doing strategy, operations, you name it. Timely, trustworthy studies and resources we put out to the industry, try to help everybody find solutions to the biggest issues facing entrepreneurs in the country today. So like I said, come find us, have a word. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Will.
Thanks so much, Angus. All right, let's see if I can get the clicker to work. There we go. All right, we're good, we're live. Yeah, thanks so much for being here at BDC. Like I said, the first ever TNT Summit finale in the province. My name is William Johnson. Thrilled that we're doing this here tonight. For those of you who don't know, Startup TNT started 5 years ago in Edmonton in a little bar. We're gonna get into the story in a bit, but now we're here. We've invested in over 100 companies, deployed over $15 million, which is pretty remarkable. I know, like, tonight we're gonna hear from 5 incredible founders. They're going to talk about their stories, their history, their vision for the future, their innovation. And for us, really, storytelling is a big part of what we do. And we think storytelling is key to community building. And of course, Startup TNT, we're not the first community here. And I don't just mean there are other angel groups, right? The first community here, like Angus acknowledged, was the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. And again, I want to acknowledge that we're meeting here, and it's a privilege for us to be meeting here. And hopefully we can carry on, their tradition and their heritage of respecting, the land that we're on and the people that we get to spend time with. The clicker was working. There we go. But this is what you're here for, right? to hear from some incredible companies and some incredible founders. So Atome, Bookt, BuildSmartr, MeepMeep, and Workforce Wellness. Can we give them a round of applause for making it this far in the process? And quickly, before we get going, I always forget to do this. I want to thank everyone that helps put events like this together. So I think a lot of you have met Nicole, our stage manager. Thanks, Nicole. Mark's in the back. Noor is here with BDC. I don't know where he is. Where is he? He's over there. Incredible. Michelle, my wife, she's over there serving drinks at the bar. So thanks to her for coming on out. And then there are some incredible volunteers here, and I want to shout them out. And then all the way back in Edmonton, there's an incredible operations team, folks that do marketing, folks that do admin, folks who do legal. We couldn't do any of these meetups without those individuals. So I want to thank them. Just get that out of the way. A lot of people always forget. I want to make sure that we shout them out. So for those of you who are new to Startup TNT, how does this work? At the beginning of this process, we have a group of investors that come together that believe that great entrepreneurs can be found anywhere. So at the start of this process, they actually commit and they put $5,000 in a pot. We bring those together. We invite companies to showcase themselves to us, and then at the end of the process, about 7 to 8 weeks of due diligence, ultimately we decide who we're going to invest in that pool of money. So in many cases, it's over 100K from the angel investors, and then we'll get into Startup TNT. We have a VC fund that will also put in another 50K into the highest ranked company in the process. And then tonight, the winning companies get announced. So like I said, 20 local investors, we have 5 BC startups you're gonna hear from across the regions. It says 500 total tickets sold, over 650, which is really exciting. And of course, 5 awesome after parties. And all of that work that I'm talking about has led to this, right? Like I said, 16 million almost in capital deployed, over 30 summits. We've got over 453 angels in our network, which is incredible. We've funded over 103 companies since 2020. And tonight we're gonna add to that list. This is TNT by the numbers. I talked a little bit about these. We're really proud about the diversity of the founders that we've been able to back, and we wanna keep doing that. Of course, couldn't do any of this work without some extraordinary partners. BDC, the space we're in, they're obviously one of those really important partners. And then we have this incredible slate of partners here. And 2 of the logos on this wall are new, and I'll just give them a shout out, Dentons and Deloitte. So thanks to those 2 organizations for helping us get launched in BC, in addition to all the other partners that are listed there. So tonight, what's happening? I'm going really fast because I'm really excited to get to the pitches. Woo! 5 pitches, 4 minutes to pitch, 2 minutes of Q&A with one of the angel investors from our network. And then lots of engagement from you folks in the audience, right? So use the hashtag SummitXBC. If people still use Twitter, I don't know if there are hashtags on Threads. I don't know. Is there? Oh, Ian knows? Oh, okay. or LinkedIn. Also, you can scan that and engage with everyone here in the room. Again, and then finally, what's after that? We're all gonna head to Malone's, which is where we hold our Thursday night tradition. So the meetup every week. And so for some of you, that might have just clicked, right? The TNT and Startup TNT is Thursday night tradition. Doesn't mean dynamite. But I mean, it could have that reference, but it doesn't. All right, I rushed through that, but it's only because, like I said, I'm excited to get to our pitches. And tonight we've got special guests introducing the folks that are gonna be pitching. And so the first special guest I wanna call up is Eric Broadbent from Dentons, who's gonna introduce us to the first company pitching. Give Eric a round of applause.
Testing.
All right, Eric, let's see if we can get that mic working properly, or maybe I should be standing in the right spot.
I'm just the guinea pig, thanks, yeah.
Yeah, you're the guinea pig. So, Eric, first of all, try to think, see, you can't have 2 maybe. Maybe that.
I think you just have to be actively talking into it.
And then it activates?
No, I think this password back.
Okay.
So this one works though. All right, we'll turn this one off. All right. How did we meet? I felt like we met in the Vancouver ecosystem, and then how did we get to here tonight?
It was just a string of emails, I think, randomly, but in a short time we've got to know each other, work on a number of things, and I think it's great to have TNT in Vancouver. It's great to have events like this to give more exposure to early stage companies, especially in the environment we're in right now.
Yeah, and what makes you and Dentons excited about, again, the space?
Yeah, so Dentons is the world's largest law firm, but we do have a very strong focus on early stage companies. We will invest in them from day one, helping them from incorporation all the way to exit. So we've been there in Canada since the early 90s, really starting out in our Ottawa office, and has built that out across the country.
Right, and I know you had notes, but I feel like you haven't looked at them yet. So I'll give you a second to pull your notes up.
Only for the book it, so I don't mess up their pitch.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to get off the stage, and why don't you introduce us to the first company pitching?
Cheers.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks, Will. So I get the pleasure of introducing the first pitching company, Bookt. So Bookt is transforming how companies manage gig workers, delivering instant bookings, skill match coordination, and real-time tracking, powered by intelligent automation and AI. Well, come on up.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Is that good? Mic check. Sounds good. Awesome. Okay, got the clicker right here. Hi, I'm Amin. I'm the founder of Bookt. Before I jump in, I wanted to ask a couple of quick questions to the crowd. I'm going to use the same hook I used last time that Will liked so much, so I'm just reusing it because it worked so well. Anyone here going to the Taylor Swift concert next month? Oh, wow. It's literally nobody. Wow. What about Invictus Games in February? Yeah? Cool. Got some tickets. FIFA World Cup 2026. Huh? Yeah? Okay, got a couple people, so a couple lucky folks here. Well, Vancouver's got a lot of exciting events lined up over the next couple of years, some world stage events, and I'm excited to say that the workers behind these events are all being booked through our software. So our company's Bookt. We're reimagining labor coordination through our labor, check. Okay, it's working. I'll do that again. We're reimagining labor coordination through our autonomous labor management solutions. So by the end of next year, as much as 50% of the global workforce is going to participate in the gig economy. So what that means is that every two workers is going to be involved in some sort of part-time, freelance, or contract-based work. Now, more and more workers are choosing this lifestyle, and one of the largest driving factors is because it gives workers freedom and flexibility. Contingent workforces also enable businesses and organizations to quickly adjust to new market demands and specific project needs without the traditional ties associated with traditional employment and the costs. The problem is that organizations aren't equipped to handle and effectively manage a highly dynamic workforce. And this leads to a very poor experience for the workers, which creates a number of different challenges there. Work is typically assigned manually through labor coordinators, which is very time-consuming. This causes businesses to suffer due to a very suboptimal deployment of their workforce, which impacts revenue due to no-shows or absenteeism, and just generally creates an overall high cost of management for this workforce, which in itself is a challenge because labor runs on very thin margins. We already see effective solutions deployed through various gig platforms and marketplaces, which automate the entire management of the contingent workforce. These platforms, while they are successful, also take on a very rules-based approach, which has a limited scope approach to assigning work to workers. But there are many project-based, mission-critical, deskless workforces and industries that are struggling to find solutions that enable them to deploy their own skilled workforces. And that often entails a much higher level of complexity given the range of skills, capabilities, and experience required. This is where we see a large opportunity, both globally and within our focus markets, consisting of live events, film and television, construction, and hospitality, where this problem is large and pervasive. So we're introducing Bookt. We're bringing a systemic shift to the way organizations manage dynamic workforces by leveraging AI to automate scheduling and coordination, ensuring the best worker is booked for the right gig. Our solution provides a machine learning and AI-driven experience that builds intelligent context about the work and the workers and enables a sophisticated coordination and decision-making on the management of that workforce. We have deep expertise in this space, building workforce management, workforce planning, and workforce analytics software, as well as AI and machine learning solutions. We also have over 40 years of domain experience in managing contingent workforces, both operationally and financially. Our solution has already seen tremendous success from our soft launch back in 2023. After deploying Bookt, one of our customers saved over $500,000 for their business. This customer is the largest event labor supplier in Western Canada. This exciting early traction includes automating now over 70,000 chips with Bookt, and we're generating revenue from that as well. Our current focus is with the live events and film and television sectors, which has enabled us to leverage the decades of experience in highly dynamic workforce management environments, enabling us to productize the experience and knowledge of some of the best labor providers in these industries. Our intent is to leverage all of these learnings and apply them to open doors to adjacent industries and markets. With that, I'm excited to announce that we've signed our first pilot customer in the hospitality sector, Park Casino, Vancouver's largest casino resort. They're an ADP customer as well, and this partnership with Park enables us to build a deep integration with ADP, which also creates an opportunity for a new channel in the future. We're completely bootstrapped. This is our first round of funding, and we're raising $1 million US to help accelerate our product development. We see a future where every member of the deskless workforce is deployed through our AI workforce management solutions. And the next time you attend a concert, hockey game, or convention in Vancouver, you can confidently know that the labor behind the scenes was booked through our software. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Aman. Okay, so everybody, hi, I'm Anastasia. I am one of the investors that's been evaluating the company. And maybe kind of like for everyone else in the room who wasn't part of the DD conversation, can you tell us a little bit more about your go-to-market strategy? I know we talk about geo versus industry, so tell us more about that.
Yeah, first and foremost, the majority of the funds that we're raising are going to go towards accelerating our product development and start with our initial GTM motions. What we plan to do is actually move into adjacent markets and adjacent industries. So like I mentioned, we're focused on film and television and live events. We want to start branching into regions close by like Washington State, Alberta as well. We've already seen great success in Vancouver and in BC. And we're leveraging the fact that most gig workers typically work for, on average, 2.6 companies. And this is something that we want to tap into by having such a great experience working with one company using our solution. It creates a channel for us to tap into some of the other organizations that these workers work for.
So in short, both. You're raising $1 million US, and then a lot of it will go into product development and then including kind of opening the new industries. So tell us a little bit more about what you hope to achieve with the $1 million other than the product development.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the potential we have with this ADP integration that we're building. So having an initial customer partner on board is going to really enable us to go deep into building a valuable integration there. And once we do see some tremendous success with that, it'll help us validate the hypothesis we have with the hospitality sector as well. And that can create a really huge channel opportunity for us moving forward as well.
Thank you, Aman, and round of applause, please.
Thanks so much, Anastasia. Thanks so much, Aman. I think our AV guy wants us to take a minute to fix the other mic. So we'll let him do that, and everyone sit tight for 30 seconds. Oh, are we good?
No, yeah, give me like 30 seconds.
Do we want to do it after the next one? Yeah, let's do it after the next one. All right, let's get going. Thanks so much, Aman and Bookt. Next up, I want to call up Jason Yen from RBCX. Give him a round of applause. So Jason, quickly, tell us what RBCX is seeing in the market. What are you guys excited about? Why are you happy to be involved this evening?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me here. So I'm part of the early stage banking team with RBCX, and we're currently building a fundraising list to help anyone that's pre-Series A to get more exposure to VCs in both Canada and the US. So if you're interested in that, I'm sure you do, come talk to me right after.
Wonderful. And who are we hearing from next?
So the next company is helping healthcare workers with burnout, and they're called Workforce Wellness, and it's Anish Anand.
Thank you so much. It's actually Ashish, but that's okay. Thank you so much. I was really hoping we'd get the audio stuff fixed before this one, but that's okay. I only have 4 minutes. I just wanted to say, any entrepreneurs in the audience, if you're thinking about next year, next cycle, highly, highly recommend this competition. I was just talking to one of the other finalists. It's been an absolutely fantastic experience, a great team, really, really smooth process, great exposure to really, really top-notch people. So anyone's thinking about it, jump in. Anyway, my name is Ashish Anand. I'm the founder and CEO of Workforce Wellness. As many of you may know, healthcare systems in US and Canada are in a lot of trouble. They're facing a chronic staff shortage crisis. And we are in the process of building AI solutions that help healthcare organizations optimize their workforce operations and also address the underlying causes of their retention challenges. Now, what you may not know, let's see if this works. What you may not know is how bad things are. And as bad as you think they are, they're actually worse. 18% of nurses are not graduating out of nursing school. Of the ones that do, 1 in 5 quit in the first couple of years. And the ones that come out, this is what actually faces them. About 1 in 3 are considering going on stress leave. Half of our doctors and nurses, or more than half of our doctors and nurses, are experiencing burnout. In healthcare, the rates of short-term disability, long-term disability are over 20 times higher than all other industry averages. And in BC alone, we have 180,000 healthcare workforce of 180,000 people. Over 12,000 of them are on disability leave, the vast majority being mental health related. What this does, and what it has done, is caused cost overruns for healthcare organizations across North America. Hospitals are paying way more for overtime, claims, nurses from overseas, bonuses to join, you name it, they're just kind of across the board. And this is going to be one of the biggest challenges that our healthcare system has. Now, the healthcare back office is really where the problem starts. Not only has it failed the employers and the employees, it is actually actively contributing to the challenges. And these are relics. These are relics from a different era, from a bygone era, and they really, really do need a serious upgrade. And that's where we come in. We've been working for the past 4 years on building an AI-native workforce operations platform that puts employees first. It's a fundamental paradigm shift from reacting to challenges to preventing them altogether. Healthcare employers, through our platform, get real-time workforce analytics, workforce intelligence. They get access to powerful scheduling tools to optimize their workforce schedules. They get workflow automation to reduce the administrative overhead. And employees get access to more powerful scheduling, flexible scheduling. They get access to a community of supportive peers, coaches, mentors, counselors, and other mental health professionals. And our AI employee assistant gives them access to personalized support, the ability to get answers to clinical questions, the ability to navigate policies. And it's a completely transformative way of managing your workforce. Like many other SaaS organizations, we have fairly high margins. We generally charge based on the number of employees. It's usually $25 to $30 per employee per month. And it's a fantastic model, very, very sticky. We're early entrants in a large and growing market with large market need in AI and healthcare, specifically in workforce operations. Most people don't know this. 70% of the costs of healthcare are very much resource related, human resource related. This market is growing incredibly quickly, and the table has not been set. So we're actually hoping to position ourselves for success in this market as it grows. Just as one quick reference point, Canada's short 90,000 nurses today. Globally, this nurse shortage is expected to grow to 13 million. We believe that the need for our services is only going to grow over the next couple of years. Governments on both sides of the border are finally starting to take employee well-being within healthcare seriously and starting to commit real dollars. We're actually getting exposed to a number of different funding opportunities through different governments that are trying to address this. What has accelerated our time to market is the regulation of mental health in the workplace, which we're really, really excited about. We're uniquely positioned to address some of these compliance requirements over the next few years. We have a really, really exciting pipeline of healthcare organizations that have expressed an interest in doing pilots. That's going to be the primary use of proceeds, which I'll get into in just a moment. We are running a healthcare pilot in BC. We're in discussions with Providence Healthcare to run our first big-scale pilot at St. Paul's starting in January, and have a really, really exciting roster of potential clients coming up. The team has been building enterprise software in digital health for decades, from everything from Doctors of BC to TELUS Health, to nurse practitioners of BC to the Canadian Nurses Association. Significant amount of bench strength, so we sort of know what we're doing. We also have a fantastic advisory board, again, deep bench strength in AI, machine learning, healthcare, workplace mental health, and finance, and the healthcare sector overall. We're raising $1 million in our seed round. We've already raised 200. We have 100K soft circled. We're in discussions with PHC Ventures for another 500K investment. And if anyone's interested in being part of this exciting journey, please contact us. With that, I thank you.
Thank you, Ashish, for that presentation. My name is Job, and I'm one of the investors. Being in healthcare, I'm a resident physician, so I've seen the burnout across the board. So it's a very real issue and a very real problem. Ashish, this problem seems to be one that exists in other industries as well. Have you explored other spaces and potentially 10 years down the road or some other markets that workforce wellness can also do this work in?
Sure, thanks for that. It's nice to meet you in person. We've met online. Yes, we are looking at other sectors. Wherever there's frontline workers, this problem goes beyond healthcare. It's just more pronounced in healthcare. One of the pilots we're looking to start is with WorkSafe BC. They're in the process of taking this workplace mental health regulation that's only in healthcare and expand it to other sectors. And they've indicated they're going to start with service sector, transport, a number of sectors wherever there's a high volume of people working in frontline. So we're going to be taking our lead from them and trying to align our platform with the legislation that they're working on for 2026.
Very exciting work. I have no other questions for you. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much, Ashish. Thanks so much, Joban. Let's keep it going unless Mark wants to do another mic check. Okay, 30-second timeout.
Just don't use it. Don't turn it off. Just don't use it.
Check 1, 2. Try using that one there.
Turn it off. Yeah.
Check
Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
I think we're good.
We'll see.
All right.
All right, I only got one question off, but that's fine. We want to keep the show rolling. So to keep us going, I want to invite up my friend Jason Pila from Deloitte. Give him a round of applause. This side of the podium, this side of the podium. Is it working?
Now it works. Now it works. All right.
Now it works. First of all, lovely jacket. I love this jacket. Look at this, guys. Look. Mr. New York. I like it.
That's the reason I did it.
You got that new jacket yesterday, and you're like, I need somewhere to wear it.
That's
So
the only reason.
that's why you agreed to this. Thanks, Jason. So why is Deloitte involved? What are you guys excited about right now?
Well, first, I just want to congratulate all of the finalists. I just want to get that out. So Deloitte, well, you know, we're a mom and pop little professional service shop. We love startups. That part's actually true. I specifically work in I lead our global incentives. So we work with and we help clients secure non-dilutive funding. That's a fancy way of saying we help companies get money without giving away their soul. That's through tax incentives, grants, SHRED, clean tech, ITCs. So we're always interested in helping up small companies and startups as they grow.
Yeah. And what's your background? Why are you in this
You
space?
always ask me this question, don't you? I was a CTO and VP of engineering in AI, specializing in AI for about 15 years, mostly in government, US government elections.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that one up.
Well, no, I was going to say, out of all the Deloitte people, I feel like you're one of the ones that, gets what these founders are working on the most. That's what I was getting at.
There's 150 members of our team. Half of them are tech specialists in different areas of tech software, primarily in the manufacturing and then agriculture and all kinds, yeah.
Wonderful, exciting. Okay, well, on that note, who are we hearing from next?
Oh, yeah. So I have the privilege, that was all about me. I have the privilege of introducing Eve Bennett from MeepMeep. Eve was tired of losing her disc golf discs in the woods and decided to do something about it. I'm not going to give any more details. I'll let her speak. So without further ado, Eve Bennett.
Woo.
Thanks, man. All right. Well, hello again. Welcome back. So for those of you who I don't know yet, I'm Eve, and I did a really hard thing. I actually brought a consumer hardware product to market, and we bootstrapped this during the supply chain crisis, chip shortage of the pandemic. So the reason we were able to pull off this impossible feat is because I speak Mandarin Chinese, I did my first startup in China, I have a sales and marketing background, and I have a recruitment background, which allowed me to get the necessary technical and hardware and all of those skills that I needed. So this product is currently sold across North America and Europe, but today I'm not here to talk to you about this. I'm here to talk to you about our next evolution. So right now, we all know how important sports exercise is to like every single element of our well-being, right? And yet people are quitting at alarming rates. And typically this comes down to a lack of meaningful and affordable opportunities to improve. So on the one end of the market, there are products for your elites or your super nerds with deep pockets, high cost, really giving you niche metrics that you might not understand. On the other end of the spectrum, there is your Strava Apple Watch type tools. So these are so low market though that you really aren't getting that much actionable feedback and insights. And if you're using an equipment heavy sport, if you're doing pickleball or skiing or that kind of thing, they're really just not able to support you. So our visionary solution is an updated version of our hardware combined with a shared data movement algorithm layer. Then we use individual spikes, all via software for your individual sports, pickleball, paddling, skiing, etc. And we combine this with AI to give you not just what you're doing, but how to actually get better, or even how to play like a particular athlete that you really love. We know that consumers want this because even before we started working on it, they were demanding it. They wanted to know how hard they're hitting. They want to know if their paddle is in the correct position. And not just consumers. Hardware manufacturers want this as a way to compete. Coaches want this as a way to coach clients if they're in New York and the client's in California. Talent agents want this so their clients make more money. Across the industries, this is seen as the next natural evolution of sport. So because we started in this like nice niche little market, we were able to get a lot of those hardware is hard things out of the way. So we built up our supply chain, we built out our sales channels, we did our IP strategy and Bluetooth and all of these things. And we did a lot that a lot of consumer products don't get. We actually are generating revenue. So not only that, we've established all these amazing partnerships where now we even have equipment manufacturers who want an early version of our Gen 2 product to use for their own R&D and are willing to help commercially finance us to get there. We could stop here. We could be a nice little self-sustaining lifestyle disc golf business, but we don't want to because we know that we have the team that it takes to capture what is going to be a $20 billion subset of the larger sports equipment market. Larger market is over $100 billion, and sports equipment is growing at just a shocking rate. So we started out with unit sales, right, with our first product. With the second product, we're bringing on subscription revenue via an app subscription. We're also doing B2B, so selling data to equipment manufacturers or potential integrations with other apps, personalized marketing campaigns, and doing white label embedding so that equipment manufacturers can have off-the-shelf smart racket, for example. Not only that, we're bringing crucial revenue to athletes. We've all seen the embarrassing situation of, say, the Olympic athletes having to get sponsored. You are not making money unless you are the top of your game in a, NFL type sport. So alongside myself and my amazing team that I had building MeepMeep Gen 1, we're bringing on Dr. Sam Blades. He is a biomechanicist who has spent 10 years building these products in skiing, skating, you name it. And it is the core that our IP is based off of, is his work. Very hard to do. We're also bringing on the AI lead of a twice acquired sports wearables company that was actually the builder of the original golf and baseball swing analyzers. In total, we're looking to do $500K by December. This is so that we can have a beta version released in the summer to collect data and to have a consumer Christmas 2025 release. Don't miss out. Don't miss your shot.
Hi, I'm Ian, one of the goons passing judgment on all these entrepreneurs.
Nice goon.
Yeah, thank you. So let's go right to the chase. How is paddle sports gonna possibly be generating the revenue that you're expecting? This is obviously that's a big claim that pickleball is gonna drive that kind of ARR to be venture backable.
Yeah. So we're starting with paddle sports, right? But we do not see this stopping here. We really see this as going into every type of sport that uses a piece of equipment and potentially beyond. We're taking this bowling pin strategy because that way we can expand into larger markets as we get stronger, right? We start out with disc golf, going to the next tier, which is pickleball and potentially padel, which are just exploding, by the way. They are absolutely fucking huge. And then beyond that, then we can go into skiing, surfing, water sports, and we will go into more aggressive competitive areas as we get stronger until finally, maybe one day, looking at baseball, golf, tennis.
But why your team? If there is a market, and that's obviously big if, why is it your team that's the one who's gonna do this and not some well-funded existing player in the sports tech space?
Totally. I mean, a couple of reasons. One is that I think we've proven as a team that we can overcome the impossible many times here. It's a lot easier said than done to pull off this kind of product, and we've done really hard things. A second one is we actually have the technical experience, right? So right now, until now, it was really hard to do a consumer version of a product like this. You need that level of experience that Sam brings, and on the AI side, you need that level of experience that Jan brings. Right? So it's a combination of the team skill. Additionally, we have really amazing relationships, right? So we have relationships with pickleball clubs, we have relationships with talent agencies. We have a lot of the hustle and drive that I think a larger company wouldn't be able to react quickly enough, particularly once we get that first hardware product out there. Once it's out there, we can move faster than any other competing player because it's a software release, not a hardware.
Last question. Did you seriously make reference to an OnlyFans style revenue share on the slide previous to this one?
Yep.
No further questions. Thank you.
Do you know how much money OnlyFans makes, Ian?
I am fully aware.
There you go.
Thanks so much, Eve and Ian. Let's keep this rolling, no breaks. I want to call up my friend Ali Barmel from Fasken. Give her a round of applause. And what are you for Mike? This side of the podium.
Okay.
All right, Ali. We had lunch a few weeks ago. We talked about the market, we talked about tech. What's Fasken working on? How are you serving entrepreneurs? What are you excited about right now?
Yeah, thanks, William. So I'm a partner with Fasken's. I'm part of our emerging and high growth company group. So, I'll work with anybody from, two founders in a basement with an idea, two founders in a kitchen with an idea, right through to angel, venture capital, private equity financing, and M&A. And we're a full service law firm. So while I handle more corporate transactions and that type of thing, we've got employment, labor, all that kind of stuff, everything under the sun to help you grow your business. And a big part of that for us is we know early stage entrepreneurship is, tricky. You got to manage cash flow. And we've got a startup package that helps entrepreneurs get sort of set up properly at a reduced price so that you can kind of start things off on the right foot.
Any other question? What are you excited about right now?
You know, it's an exciting time. We came off sort of generational times last, 2020, 21, and for a while it was kind of steady, but not as robust as it was at that time. I'm starting to see signs of uptick. I think it's kind of interest rates going down and the real possibility of leveraged deals for investors, still lots of dry powder. So for the last 2 months, 3 months, I've kind of seen an uptick in the market, which I think is going to be really good for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
And who are we hearing from next?
Yeah, so I'm excited about this one. So in addition to working with a lot of technology companies, I lead up our food and beverage group at Fasken. So this was kind of a coincidence that I get to introduce Atome Bakery. And for those of you who haven't seen sort of how bread is made and that type of thing, I've watched documentaries on this, and it gets made somewhere, it gets frozen, it goes to your grocery shelf, and when you see that glistening thing on the in the packaging, that's not, hey, it's fresh condensation. It's thawing from it's being frozen weeks ago. So, I'll introduce Elise Couder at Atome, if she can come up, and she'll tell you about the ready to bake sourdough and other products.
Thank you, Ali. Hi, everyone. So my name is Alice Couder. I'm the co-founder at Atome Bakery. My partner, Lucas, is the other co-founder. So a lot of people have asked me tonight why Atome Bakery, and yes, it is a French person trying to say at home bakery. So that gives you a little bit of insight about what our company is. So when Luca and I moved from France to Vancouver, we went through different phases in terms of bread consumption. So we traveled 20 minutes to an artisan bakery. Then we went to the supermarket, then we starved ourselves of bread for a while, and then we started making a mess in the kitchen with a lot of flour, because there's no solution that is both convenient and high quality if you don't live next to an artisan bakery here. And so that's why we created Atome Bakery. It's convenient because it's ready to bake, so it gets straight to your door. You put it in the freezer. Whenever you're ready for a loaf, you just put it in the oven, and it's fresh like out of the bakery in 30 minutes. And it's high quality. It's 100% sourdough, so only flour, water, and salt. And it's slow fermented and organic flour from Canada. The difference between existing frozen options that you might see in the supermarket is that our bread is frozen proofed. So you get the full effect of an artisan bread that rises in your oven when you bake it. And this is possible thanks to the Atome pan that we provide with the first order. And so the power-baked options that you have are actually baked 80% of the way already. So when you buy it from the store and reheat it, you're doing a second baking, it's going to dry really fast and you don't get the full rise effect. So we set up an e-commerce platform to really empower our vision of making healthier, nice bread available everywhere in North America. And this is our vision, to make good bread available everywhere. And so our go-to-market strategy is to replicate the same thing that we've been doing in different provinces and states. We started with BC, then we replicated it in Alberta, then in the state of Washington, and in 2 weeks we ship our first pallet to California. So we rely on a very strong meta ad strategy, as well as SEO, referrals, and all of the tools that an e-commerce brand can employ. This has allowed us to generate significant revenue this year, so $630,000 year to date, and we're growing at about a 50% rate month over month. As you can see, in October, we surpassed 100K in revenue just for the month. And this is because of the subscription model, which can create a snowball effect. It is a very big market. Everybody eats bread. A lot of people want nice bread. And so the 1.2 billion estimate here is just high-income households who eat bread in the 5 states and provinces that we can service. So BC, Alberta, Washington, Oregon, and California. And it's also cut in half because some people just like to go to the bakery, and they can. When we started Startup TNT, we were asking for $350,000 US for 10% of Atome, and I'm happy to report that we've received great support from VCs and angel groups in the area. We've been able to oversubscribe at 125%. So we've created new terms, especially for Startup TNT, because the support of the team here would mean a lot for us and for our next step in the growth. And so we would like to request $100,000 to $150,000, and that would help us achieve about $600,000 more next year. If you have any questions.
I do have questions.
Really?
I'm Lindsay. I'm also one of the investors who has been working on the assessment due diligence team for Atome. We went to their facilities. These guys are legit. I had the best waffle I've had outside of mainland Europe. And so I'm pro you guys. Tell me how you are going to, keep the quality of something that is so high grade, as you go to this big scale that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's something that we really insist on every day. At the end of the day, Lucas and I are the first customers, and we eat our product every day, so it's very important for us to keep the quality high. And so we've mapped out the process of making bread, and we've managed to see where do we really need a French skilled baker, and where can we automate the process. And so now we're working on the automation so we can increase our capacity while keeping the same quality. And this is also why we don't go, let's do all of the US. We're going state by state so we can make sure we don't overflow our production capacity and we're able to continue delivering the same quality.
Nice. And so congratulations on oversubscribing your round already. The brutal question here is, will this money matter? What can you really do that you can't already achieve with your round oversubscribed?
Thank you for the question. That's something we've also talked about. So I'm a very Cartesian person. So when I was walking into Startup TNT finally, I calculated. So it's about an extra $600,000 that we'll generate in 2025 with that money. And that's because we figured out the economics. We know how many dollars we win on every box. We know how much it takes to get a new customer to subscribe. And so we just apply that by making more marketing money so that can generate more revenue. Basically, we have the right recipe now, so we just need to inject marketing money to continue growing.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Alice. Thanks so much, Lindsay. Let's keep this rolling. Actually, our final company, that's wild, we're flying through this. Next up, I want to call my friend Christopher O'Neill from Floor Space up to the stage. Give him a round of applause.
Hello, thanks for inviting me up.
Christopher, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Yeah, good. I sprung this on you today or yesterday? I don't know what it was.
Days are all blurring. Yesterday evening.
But you jumped at the opportunity. Why?
Oh, it's just exciting to give back to this amazing startup community that Vancouver has, and I was actually really excited that you paired me with the company that you have.
Wonderful. And why is that? What space are you in? What are you working on?
Well, I work at Floor Space Commercial. We're a boutique technology-enabled commercial real estate advisory firm. So I work with companies to help them to put together their real estate strategy, which aligns with their operational goals, and eventually to run a process to eventually go procure that real estate on terms that work well for the company. And one thing that I see time and time again is that there's so many amazing technologies being implemented throughout Vancouver, but the construction industry is one that's really lagging behind. I'd say, the only one that maybe needs automation more than commercial real estate. So I'm introducing BuildSmartr Robotics today, who's a prefab steel construction company who 3D models, manufactures, and distributes their steel products to their construction partners to help increase the efficiency of construction and dramatically decrease the cost of construction. So without further ado, if I
feel like you're doing Harvard's job for him. But yeah.
I want to introduce Harv and Sam from BuildSmartr Robotics to come up and tell their stories.
Yeah, Chris sent me a little blurb today. It was actually on point. Might just have to hire him for sales now. Yeah, hey everyone. My name is Harv. I'm the founder and CEO of BuildSmartr Robotics. Well, we're enabling the mass production of housing. As many of you might be aware, there are some fundamental problems in construction. The costs are increasing, there's excessive waste. 1/3 of all landfill waste comes from construction. It's very time consuming, the materials are vulnerable, and there's a labor shortage. These are long-term headwinds facing almost every major city. So what do? How do we solve these problems? Well, our technology results in the lowest cost to build a home. It's actually pretty simple. We take any set of architectural drawings, make a 3D digital twin. We then procure raw recycled steel, which is sent to the machines, and the machines prefab every single wall, joist, and truss. They're labeled, sent to the job site, and installed like big Lego pieces. We have significant traction right now. We have projects with deposits paid of over $27 million, over 20 projects finished, 1.42 booked revenue for fiscal year 2024. We're currently working on the tallest prefab steel building in Canada at 8 stories. We have also won a couple of different competitions through Foresight Canada, Vancouver Economic Commission, Mackenzie Investments, and Clean Tech Open. So what's our IP? Our IP is the software that connects AutoCAD, the CNC machines, and the robotic arms. We also have a patent pending solution for our wall assembly. But why now? Many people are aware that more housing is needed, but there is a oncoming looming threat, which is insurance. Climate change is causing more forest fires and more hurricanes. What this means is these insurance companies are facing significant losses. They're actually no longer providing home insurance, and we need to protect our biggest assets somehow. So what's happening is they are leaving the states, and the state has to step in. But that's not really a long-term solution. What the solution is, we need to build these homes with more resilient building material, and that's going to be steel or concrete. So our business model is profitable, scalable, and cash flow positive since Q4 of last year. We fundamentally sell our prefab panels and engineering services to developers. It's a B2B business. We offer fixed price contracts, which is very rare in the construction industry. We have 35% margins per project. We serve home builders, commercial developers, and institutional builders, but really our beachhead market are these 7 to 15-story buildings. These are these mid-rise buildings. We are about 40% cheaper than concrete. We can build it about twice as fast, and this has an open web system, so all their trades can do all of their, all of their work pretty easily. But at the same time, we're competitive with lumber. We're about 20% cheaper than lumber, again, twice as fast, and this results in a non-combustible home. So housing is attracting a lot of big investments. We are a structural solution. We have a proprietary technology. We're assembling a robotic assembly line, and we have a panel-based solution that allows us to build any single type of project. That's why we think we're going to win in this space. We're bootstrapped, and this is the team that has taken this from a startup to this project pipeline over $25 million. I have a construction background. I'm an award-winning home builder. Our engineer has been building bridges and dams and really takes that value engineering approach to construction. Our Sam, our CGO in the back there, comes from Deloitte, has incubated multiple startups. We have an advisory board that consists of a UBC professor, a member of the Cowichan tribes, and a judge from Clean Tech Open. So we're raising $650,000 really to help us execute on our project pipeline. It's very important every single client is a repeat customer and has a really good experience. And this really allows us to be a little bit more efficient with our resources, help us with our cash flow to execute on these jobs. At the same time, we can further develop our robotics technology. So the construction industry has not changed for hundreds of years. Eventually, technology changes everything. And this change is going to be 3D modeling, robotics, and steel. If that's the future that you believe in, then come talk to us, join us, and let's build our future.
Hey, Arf. Thanks for presenting. I'm Neil. I'm one of the investors. Can you speak more to the robotic arm that you guys will be developing?
Yeah, so we don't want to build the robotic arms, right? What we want to do is we want to procure robotic arms and build the software that enables the whole system. Essentially, you want to think of it as how cars are currently being built. Ford or Tesla, they're not building the robotic arms. They're procuring the robotic arms and building the assembly line, taking that approach but applying it to construction of a panelized system. So it's really our software that makes the robotic arm do what it does. Otherwise, it actually can't do anything.
And with that software, do you think those numbers you were showing versus even lumber, do you think it'll become even more efficient then? And was that factoring in the robotic arm and the technology there?
Yeah, this is not factoring in overseas procurement or roboticization. These are our current margins right now. Really, the reason why we're able to be so efficient is that steel is actually cheaper per linear foot than wood. You just have to use it really efficiently and have a way to kind of use it. But those are our current margins, and we think those can get significantly better over time. What you want to do is just and further point to the question, you want to get to take that first principles approach and get to the lowest cost of that building material. So at a certain scale, everything will just be the cost of the inputs. And if the input is that cheap, that'll be the cost, and that's kind of our goal in the next few years here.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks so much, Harv. Thanks so much, Neil. All right, well, with that, let's give a round of applause to all of the founders that have pitched tonight. And I just want to be clear, while we do this pitch event and we did a top 20 pitch event, it's not a pitch competition, right? Like these investors have been looking at these companies for 8 weeks, doing real DD, negotiating real terms, some of which have changed today. So it's a real process. Right now, it's 6:56, and what's going to take place is for about 30 minutes, the investors that are part of the process in this room, we're all going to go to a boardroom across the hallway where we're actually going to have the final discussions and deliberations, and then they will each vote to determine who the highest ranked company will be and which company is taking home their pre-committed capital, and then who Startup TNT's fund will also put in a $50K check as well. And then potentially there might be some smaller deals announced as well. We never know till the final minute, but we're gonna go do that. So what does that mean for the rest of you? I think we'll put on a Spotify playlist, and then the drink tickets don't matter anymore, and I checked and the fridge is full, so go have fun over there. Keep Michelle busy. But then we'll be back here in, I think about 30 minutes, we'll say 30 minutes. So if you gotta run somewhere else, go run somewhere else. But right now, 2 quick things. So first of all, I thank the operations team at Startup TNT, but I wanna call them out. So thank you, Mandy, thank you, Jonah, and thank you, Winnie, if you're watching this on YouTube. Thanks. Can we give them a round of applause, the folks back in Edmonton? Oh, it's funny, I just looked over. Sorry, my friend Devin is also taking photos of all you fantastic folks, so give him a round of applause. All right, at this moment though, the investors who are part of the process, I need you to go across the hallway. Neil, perhaps you can take this and lead them over there. So you go through the door, and then you need that to get into the next room, and there's a beautiful boardroom. So you're gonna go straight into there. So all the investors that are part of this process, please go there now. Like I said, everyone else, please just keep drinking and hanging out for about 30 minutes. We'll see you soon. Okay, everyone quieted down really quickly there. The sparkling wine is not ready yet, so I feel like it's almost ready. All right, thanks so much, everyone. I think I have some slides I have to go through before we announce the winners. Who's pitched tonight? Before we get going, let's give a round of applause to these amazing companies and founders that you saw from tonight. Honestly, like this was such a fun experience for me as being the BC lead, and all that means is I'm just like constantly wrangling people and getting people in meetings and meetups, and fortunately I enjoy that. I enjoy hanging out with people in the Vancouver tech ecosystem, so this was a great experience. Thanks to the founders, thanks to the investors, thanks to all the partners who helped make this happen. And again, and thanks to all the volunteers and our hosts and everything. We're gonna get in trouble because we're gonna be over time in the space, but I think they'll forgive us. Again, couldn't do this without these amazing sponsors and partners. Again, all our work is made possible by them, as well as our top funders. Don't know what this slide is here for. I talked about all this stuff. Incredible group of entrepreneurs that we already get to back, and I guess the point I'm supposed to make here is that tonight we're adding to that list, and that's really exciting for us.
And then you do your Thursday night events? Or what is that?
Oh yeah, I talked about that before. Okay. I feel like I've seen all these folks there, which is really, really exciting. As mentioned right earlier, we've got our collection of angel investors. They put a check in, and then Startup TNT has our fund. So for the highest ranked company, we're putting in a $50K check as well, and then supporting that entrepreneur and that company for many, many years to come. And we do follow-on rounds, et cetera.
Can I ask a question? Is that 50K for regional, or is that for all?
No, it's per region. So tonight we're putting $50K in the winner. In Calgary they're doing the same. In Edmonton they're doing the same, right? Yeah, no, absolutely. Nope. No, in BC, we were lucky. Like, I didn't even mention this earlier, right? In a lot of the other regions, there were, 32 companies would apply to take part in the process. And, they had to ask themselves, are we going to do a top 20? Are there enough really solid companies to do a top 20? In BC, I had to have a lot of calls with founders to say, hey, you didn't make it to our top 20, but it's because there were 52 companies that were in the process. 70 plus started the process, 52 actually had a completed form that we could actually look at. Then our investors had to cut that to 20 right away. So a lot of the calls are just, there are too many companies in BC. So that's why you're not moving on to the next stage. Then 10, then 5, and here we are tonight. Obviously, after we're done here, we're going to celebrate at Malone's. It's about a 12-minute walk, I think it's about a kilometer. That's where our regular happy hours are. If you want to donate to the tab, email cheers@startuptnt.com, or just come and just buy a round of drinks. That's probably the easiest thing. I'll be over there, probably having a couple of whiskeys right away now that all this is done. All right, the winner. So in the other cities, they do this differently. They announce the winner and then they announce side deals. I think that's wrong. Because for other things, you announce like 3, 2, 1, and then you announce the winner. So I'm going to do the reverse of what they do in the other cities. I'm going to announce who's getting a side deal, which means they weren't the highest ranked company, but they were highly ranked. And enough of our investors said, you know what, we want to put some money in to meet this entrepreneur's minimum check size. So the first, the one side deal I want to announce, really excited to, is for MeepMeep. So congratulations. Thank you. We'll get some, we can get a photo right away. And then there's some sparkling that'll be over here in a second. All right. We'll call you back in a second. All right, do you guys want to do a drum roll for the winner of the first ever BC Startup TNT Investment Summit? And so the winner is Atome Bakery. Congratulations, Alice and Lucas. We're still thrilled for you. Congratulations, first ever Startup TNT Summit finale in British Columbia. Again, like we said, there was an incredible group of companies that took part, so really happy for you. And so, did we get a photo? We didn't get a photo yet. We didn't get a photo, and then we'll have some sparkling, and then we'll go celebrate. Yeah, good. Okay, give them a round of applause. And speeches aren't a thing, but quickly, I want to congratulate all the other companies that competed. Again, an amazing group of companies. It's really hard to choose. But again, you guys were phenomenal, and that's what our investors voted for. So congrats. Do you want to say anything quickly before we get going, or are you good?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Lindsay for leading the due diligence, and all of her questions were so thoughtful, and she really understood the business. So thank you for putting a lot of thoughts into this.
All right, with that, again, I want to thank the sponsors, the partners, the investors, the volunteers, all of you for being in the room. Like I said, we're going to head over to Malone's, and I think some people have already donated to the tab. So the first one's there. Your beers will be taken care of. Again, I think we need to get out of here ASAP, so I'm going to call up Eve. This is for you guys, and I think we'll get a couple more photos. Thanks, everyone, for coming this evening, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Thanks so much. Cheers.